up, everyone? Welcome to Minorly Important, the podcast where we talk about minor league sports. I'm your host, Kevin Marlowe, joined here by my co-host, Dylan Little. Dylan, how you doing, bud?
Hey, man, I can't complain. I got, again, the 4-year-olds that are in preschool now, and unfortunately got a little bit of sickness going through them again, which is natural when you have, kids.
I feel like that's every other episode you say
Right.
that in the intro.
Just about.
Once
just
a
about.
month.
So, yeah, other than that, things are good. How are you doing?
I can't complain. We've got a hockey tournament this weekend, so me and the boys, it's gonna be fun. Fun part is then our league. So championship game will be Sunday, and then our league has their normal game on Sunday as well. So it'll be Sunday morning championship game if we make it, and then Sunday night just normal league play. So it'll be a fun time. Yep. All right. And then we're also joined by Colin Scholl. Colin, what up, bud?
Nothing, just enjoying the day. Works great. I'm so glad hockey's back. I'm so happy.
And yep. Hey, and then we're also joined by Ryan Baker. Ryan.
Hey, Kevin, I'm glad to be here today. It's been a long week.
It has.
We're on fall break from school, but we are preparing for the state championship game on Saturday in Indianapolis.
Very cool.
Go Barons! Let's
Yeah.
bring home another state championship.
Yeah. And then I just want to point out, guys, so Colin, Dylan, you're Red Wings fans. Ryan, you're a Ducks fan. I'm a Hawks fan. All three teams missed the playoffs last year, and currently all three teams, I know it's only 2 weeks or a week into the season, but hey, guess what? We're all in playoff contention. So
as of right now.
As of right now.
Very
as
early.
of Thursday, the 16th. All right. But we are also joined here tonight by a very special guest. We have talked about her on this podcast before, but she's going to join us tonight. We're joined here by Taylor Schwandt. Taylor, how you doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Problem.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you. We have talked about Taylor before because she is a goalie in professional and semi-pro hockey. Right now in the APHL, she played for the Distillers last year. If you go check out our Distillers game visit, Taylor should have had a shutout if it weren't for a couple garbage time goals. But hey, she played crazy good, played on her head, and this year she is now with the Toledo Mobsters. So Taylor, tell us your story. Tell us how you got to here. You've played in the Fed. You were telling me that you trained with the Komets this summer. Just kind of give us your background of how you got to this point, like your story of your journey to hockey.
Yeah, I mean, super long story, so I'll try to spare you guys all of the details. But
We got an hour.
So I don't know if you guys already knew this, but I'm from Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb outside of Philadelphia. I grew up a hockey fan. My dad played a little bit of hockey back in the day himself, and I have a twin sister, and he wanted us to get into skating. Probably wasn't looking to get us into hockey. He wasn't sure how we'd feel about it, but they wanted us to try, him and my mom. So I started playing at age 10, and I was always a goalie. I never wanted to play anything else. I refused to actually really even give hockey a try until I could be a goalie. So I grew up playing, youth hockey for school. It was boys' school, so middle school and high school at Westchester Ruston High School. And I grew up also playing women's travel it was the Quakers at the time, and then it became the Junior Flyers when I moved into AAA and I was a little bit older. So I played like AAA hockey from 15 up until I went to college. And my college story is a whole nother experience in itself. But I guess before that, I had moved my senior year of high school out to Michigan, and I played for a team who I believe is now called Bigby, but they used to be the Lansing Spartans at the time. So I played that for them my senior year of high school briefly, and then I came back home. Just wasn't really a good fit for me. And I just finished out my senior year at home with my high school team. And then the following year, I played a year of women's juniors, which is really just 19U AAA up in New Hampshire for the Northern Cyclones. And now in college, my freshman year, I started out at Chatham University, which is a small private school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, NCAA Division III women's. Stayed there for a year, decided I wanted to be closer to home, so I transferred to Newman University, played with their women's NCAA D3 program for about a season and a half. And at that point, I had missed playing men's hockey, and I just really wanted to get back into it. So I joined their ACHA team, the men's club team. And then I did a grad year at Millersville University playing with their men's Division III club team. Millersville is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And then after that, I decided I wanted to take my hockey career as far as I could. I wasn't fully satisfied with my college career because I'd never stayed anywhere long enough to really solidify myself. And I just didn't feel like I was getting very many opportunities either. So I decided, hey, I want to continue with the pro journey. I like what I'm doing in men's hockey. So that's when about a year after, I was just training for like a whole year, just doing training, playing men's league. I signed my first semi-pro contract with the Blue Water Stars and the MIHL. So they're based out of Michigan, the semi-pro league there. And then that following year, so last season, 24-25, is when I got my chance to play with the Danbury Hat Tricks in the Fed. And then I went to the Distillers a few months after that, a few months after getting released from Danbury. And now we're here today.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's why I said I'd spare you most of the details.
Very cool.
But that's my
Very
background.
cool. Well, all right, Taylor. Well, that is a great story, great journey. We did talk, as we mentioned, about the incident. We'll just call it that. But we talked a couple episodes about it. Can you give us your perspective of what exactly happened during that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little jaded at this point because it's been so long, and just in general, I like to try and just block things out, move on, let bygones be bygones. But from start to finish, what I remember is that the game was getting very chippy. There was a lot of my teammates like getting injured, and a lot of it seemed to be intentional in the way that things were going down. I wanted to do something. I was on the bench, and in my position, there was really nothing for me to do. I couldn't go out there and defend my teammates, so I was feeling pretty helpless. And I decided to go back to the locker room because where I was standing on the bench, you could get back to the Distillers locker room very easily. So I went back to the locker room, checking on some guys, like, hey, is everything good? Like, anything I can do, trying just to be a good teammate at that point. When I come out of the locker room, one of the staff members from Toledo at that point, it was him, a woman, and the backup goalie at the time from Toledo. They were all standing out of the locker room. And the backup goalie had said something to me. I don't remember exactly what he said to me at this point, but I was just feeling very tense and very, I would say, jazzed up about the game, just to preface. And then the staff member from Toledo says to me something along the lines of, "Oh, well, they're up like 6-0. They might as well just put you in now." And I said, "Excuse me?" Because in that moment, I was taking it in a way that was like, "Oh, well, because they're up 6-0, like now you can finally go in and play because, you won't mess it up." That is how I interpreted it. So I went at him. I wouldn't say we really went at each other, but I went at him. A lot of expletives, not that I like to admit, but lots of expletives, just a lot of emotions, anger, something that, you know, in my part, I don't like that I did that. But it was just very high intense, and I was just very angry about what was going on. So, in my opinion, like, what he said, it definitely, I can see where, from like a looking at back at it now, I can see why I misconstrued it at the time. But in that moment, I was just kind of going at him, and then I had heard something else that had been said about me from somebody else on Toledo. I don't remember who at this point. Something else was said, and to be completely honest, part of why I was upset was because I really had wanted to play that game and I didn't get to play. So did I go about it the right way? Absolutely not. But in turn, it was just like a big miscommunication, number one, and misinterpretation of what one person was saying to another. That's really like from my perspective and being able to look at it now with a clear head of what really happened. I missed it a lot else of what else went on, what you guys were told, but I just that was what happened. That's what I experienced personally.
Yeah. And then when signing, did that come up at all with them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it came up. I initially was the one that brought it up because just in good humor, I was like, "Oh, I'm surprised that you guys reached out to me after the little incident last season." And we all had like a chuckle about it, and they're like, "Yeah, you know what? Just like what I said, let bygones be bygones. We all know it was a very heated situation, a lot of emotions, a lot of things that people said they didn't mean." So they were very forgiving about it. And at that point, even though there was still hesitation on my part, I was like, you know what? It's not worth holding on to. We have to, it's a business here. We got to be professionals. And if this is going to be probably my best fit as of right now, then I can put all that to the side and we can talk it out if we need to and we'll move on. We're all adults here.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I know
that's
we were shocked. Kevin texted us and said Taylor signed with Toledo, and we're like, "What? What do you mean? What do you mean Taylor signed with Toledo?" I mean, for
Yeah.
multiple reasons, the incident, and like we say a lot of bad things about Toledo, so now we
Yeah.
can't. Now we have to be like Toledo positive.
Yeah.
Except for the walleye though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could still rip on the walleye there. So
Yeah, well, let's call it Taylor Lido. There we go.
Taylor
There it
Lido.
is.
There
it
we
is.
go.
That will
There
be
we
the
go.
That's
positive.
great marketing.
Taylor Lido. All right. Wow.
But,
So did
this
the
means-
distillers? So as far as making your decision, was it something where the distillers didn't have a position, or is it something where you just decided Toledo was a better fit to go with?
It was definitely a bit of both because I spent like my entire postseason in my training and also working with my agent trying to get me back up to pro full time, whether that be the Fed, the FPHL or somewhere higher. That was where our eyes were set. And at that point, I kind of told the distillers, hey, I don't really know what my plan is. I don't even know if I'm going to be around here come the time of the season. So I didn't lead them on to be like, "Oh, yeah, like, I wanna come back." It's not that I didn't want to, it's that I didn't wanna give anyone the impression that I would be here when I wouldn't. So after, months of trying and waiting and nothing really happened, by that point, they had to move on and look for somebody else. And they did find, new goaltenders, and by the time that time came where I said, "I really need somewhere to play," um, it just wasn't gonna be the most ideal situation for me from a goalie standpoint because they had brought in 2, goalies. So and then shortly after is when Toledo reached out to me, and there was definitely more of an opportunity for me to get more games so that I can build more stats and hopefully move back up. So it was a little bit of both to answer your question for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like, yeah, you have to do what's gonna better you going forward, getting back into the full-time professional level.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen it. And every time we our intro, there's this fantastic shot that we got to capture of you signing some pucks for some little girls.
Yeah.
How cool is that to be like knowing little girls look up to you? Because I mean, let's face it, you are playing in a pretty male dominated sport. Like right now, there's only one league where women can play professionally, and that's the PWHL. Like, how cool is that to be somebody that they can look up to for that?
It's definitely very humbling because so for context, I'm 27, and when I was like that age, while ago, not that long ago, depend on how you look at it. There just wasn't anything like the PWHL. There wasn't many girls playing at all. There was barely any women's hockey that, at least in my area, that could sustain itself for very long. So there just wasn't like those influences, and I didn't grow up knowing a lot of people, a lot of women in hockey, or about a lot of women that were playing, other than what I'd encountered in my own journey. So I like to see how much it's grown, and I really like that, I do get to be that person for, whether maybe it's only girls out here in Fort Wayne, like, even if it was only them, like, that's still very humbling, and it makes me happy because I didn't have much of that growing up myself. So it's really cool, um, if I can just inspire anybody to kinda keep going and try and live out their dreams, then I feel like, this was all worth it regardless
Yeah.
of how much further I go with it all, you know?
Yep. Now, is the dream the PWHL?
No. So it is not. I stopped playing women's hockey a long time ago. I won't really get into like the reasons why. I actually do make some of my own content, and I do have a video about that. Not to like push my own stuff on your
No,
guys'
go ahead.
Oh, for
podcast,
Go
sure.
ahead.
but
Go
We
there is
want to
ahead.
promote it. We want to promote it.
Yeah, I just have like a YouTube page and an Instagram called T the Goalie, and I talk about more in depth some of my specific experiences. And I do have a video that kind of goes into depth why I don't. So for several reasons, I'm sure if you guys want to check it out,
Yeah.
absolutely, or anyone else that's interested,
We'll
check it
link it.
out for
We'll
sure.
we'll link that below for you. So
All
yeah,
right, cool.
go check out her.
And I've always felt, I'll say, more comfortable in men's hockey. They're just two different games. So for me, I know it's definitely the harder path that I'm
Right.
going on right now because I have so much working against me. But at this point, I've been at it for so long, and this is where I've made my name, and this is where I've differentiated myself amongst other people. And to me, I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just kind of want to keep going down the path that I'm
Yeah.
on now. So that would ultimately, to answer your question a little more briefly, it would be to go basically as far as I possibly can in men's pro.
Very cool. Very cool. So with you being in men's, you do have your own dressing room, being a female. Do you find that that's a little like you miss out on things? Because we all know that the room is just that. It's so much fun, even in beer league. Like, we have so much fun in the locker room, giving each other crap, doing all that stuff. Do you feel that you miss any of that, or do you feel that, like, even after once everybody's changed, you still get to be in there and be part of that same atmosphere?
Um, Definitely a little bit of both because, there's a lot of nuance in this. I get to be in the locker room, once everyone's dressed in
Right.
intermissions. So it's actually like when we're in the game and we're in the middle of everything. And that to me is probably the most important part is I still get to connect with my team in between periods, or if I'm not playing, that's on the bench, or while I'm playing and I'm on the ice. So I don't feel completely left out, but yeah, there are times where I wish I wasn't alone normally in my own little room. But I'm so used to it at this point that it doesn't really bother me. It's kind of nice. So then when I do dress with someone else in the room, like if there's happens to be another woman or two in the room at the same time as me, I feel a little weird about it. I'm like,
Well,
this is my room.
yeah. Well, I mean, we do know that like goalies have like the biggest area in the locker room because of all the pads and all of that stuff
Oh
and
yeah.
all of that stuff. So it gives you all that space. And goalies also have their, pregame rituals of warm-ups and like the tennis ball stuff and all that. So that gives you that opportunity to kind of hone in and focus, then I would say.
Yeah, and it just kind of lets me do what I wanna do. I'm very particular about what I do pregame. Not that my teammates would completely disrupt that,
Yeah.
but it just allows me to very much do my own thing. So I think as a goalie, it is a big advantage that I kinda get to be by myself because I think there are more goalies that would actually like that than you realize.
Yeah, no, I mean, we had Parker on, Parker Rutherford. I know you know Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had him on, and he discussed some of his like kind of that goalies like to get in the zone thing. And speaking of, do you have any pregame rituals that you do to warm up, or any things that you're superstitious of?
Yeah, I mean, it's very much the same way. I come to the rink, I, put my uh under stuff on and like my workout clothes. I warm up the same way, do like a little dynamic warm up by myself. And then when I get to the locker room, I put all my equipment on the same way. My bag always gets packed the same way, unpacked the same way. Each piece of equipment goes on the same exact way, whether it's before practice or before a game. So very much ritual, very much just spot on. Um, and there's a song. I won't really listen to music in the locker room. I don't know why, but there's one song that I'll listen to, and I typically listen to it twice while I'm getting dressed. And then after the second time, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. It's called I Mean It by G-Eazy.
Okay. All right. Um, so what would you say has been one of the coolest moments for you in this journey?
I would say by far the coolest moment either would be having trained with the Komets this summer, because that was just incredible being able to get on the ice with literal NHL draft picks. Like, most people can't say that they've ever done that, whether or not they've actually gone and played in the ECHL, but that's was a super cool experience. Or definitely signing in Danbury and playing in preseason there and playing in my first like season Fed game there. That was an incredible experience in itself. That was just a little over a year ago. As of like a few days ago, was the 1 year anniversary. And I just can look back on it so fondly and see it as a token of like how like it represents what I've worked so hard for and that I did make it. So it was just such a cool experience and just, it was my first real taste of like being a pro. So it just means a lot to me and I still carry it with me to this day.
It's awesome. That's yeah. I mean, I can't say enough how impressed we were when we got to watch you in that first start. And it was convenient that we were doing that stadium tour that day. So I had talked to the distillers about doing that, and it happened to line up with that day that you were starting, which worked out perfectly. And I mean, you proved it. You crushed it that night, and we are certainly looking forward to seeing you uh, succeed again this season. So, what advice would you give to goalies, whether it's little girl or just any goalie, period? Like, as far as from what you've learned.
I would say at least something I've been thinking a lot about recently, in my own journey, because at this point, I'm not exactly where I want to be or where I thought I would be,
Right.
saying that in like the most non-conceited way possible. But everyone kind of gets to that point where they're like, I'm not where I want to be, or I think I should be doing more, going further, whatever it might be. But to anybody, I would say just don't worry about, the future too much. Don't worry about, is this going to happen? Am I going to get a call up? Am I going to get to XYZ? You have to set your feet and plant your feet where you are now and just live in the moment. Because that's something I got so wrapped up in this summer that I honestly made myself miserable because I was so worried about, am I going to get that invite to camp? Am I going to get this opportunity? Like, I showed a lot with the distillers, I showed a lot in Danbury. Like, it spiraled into just a lot of self-doubt, and I was not always the happiest. So I would say keep your feet planted where they are now, live in the moment, and don't worry too much about what's to come because so much of it's out of your control. Whether the only thing you can control is how hard you work and what you do to prepare for that opportunity, but you have zero control over when your opportunity is going to come. So that's something that really that I've internalized a lot, and I'm still working on it. I think most people in my position or in the pros would say the same thing. Like, you never feel like enough's enough and you keep wanting more, but sometimes that opportunity doesn't come right away. So you gotta stay patient, stay in the moment and just keep doing what you're doing.
No, that's great advice. I mean, I I have to find that I need that at work too, to just realize that I may not be where I want to be in my career as well. That I need to keep constantly getting better, and that's one thing that my work has done a really good job of, is like pushing people to do continuous growth and understanding that nobody's perfect, and that everybody has stuff to improve on. And that's a really great mindset for an athlete, for anybody in their professional career, for anybody in life, really. So no, that's really, really good advice.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone on this podcast that's like 100% happy. So that's great advice for all of us.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
100% happy at home. I'm 50% happy at work.
Well, see,
There
you're
you
not
go.
100% happy, Colin, so shut up.
Jesus, Ryan.
Take Taylor's advice.
Yeah. Listen to her.
We should all just quit our jobs. That's what I heard. We're gonna quit our jobs and
no.
become full-time podcasters.
I mean, that's what we would that would be dope. That would be
Right?
would be the goal. And then yeah. You gotta like, comment, and subscribe, and get more subscribes down there for that to happen. But no, we're just enjoying the journey. It's been fun. But Taylor, so who is your NHL team then? We talked about ours at the beginning of the podcast. Who's yours?
Unfortunately, mine is the Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh.
Everyone's
right.
like, oof.
It's been a little bit, but
Did you see Carter Hart signed with Vegas?
I did, yeah. Little interesting.
Yep.
we'll just leave it at that. Yeah. This will be the another episode where we talk about a controversial signing.
Ryan, how are the goals doing this year so far?
Hey, you know what? I'm sure they're still in San Diego doing great things. We're not going to look at it yet. All right. They haven't been eliminated from the playoffs. They're fine.
Yeah.
The Ducks. Did you guys get my text about the Ducks?
40% off.
48% off tickets just to try to
48%.
get people in the door. I was
Hey,
like,
they
let's
did
go.
give out those duck-shaped goalie masks.
Yeah,
those
they
are
gave
cool.
out.
Opening
Yes, they
night.
did. That
Those
was
are
opening
cool.
night. They still
Yes.
didn't sell out. But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? If I could go to California and go to a Ducks game, I would. So
Fans, get Ryan to California so he can go to a Ducks game.
that's right. If
Yeah.
anybody knows anyone in Anaheim, get me there.
So
We'll just tag the Ducks in this when this video drops.
Yep. So Taylor, do you get to keep your jerseys? Do you have your jerseys from your journey?
I have my Distillers ones, and I have one of them from Blue Water. And that wasn't even like one of the jerseys I wore in a game, because the ones we wore in the game said Stars on the back where the last name should be. One day we found that we had a replica with my last name on it, because a few of like my family members had ordered jerseys. But that specific jersey, like this color, like it was like a women's night jersey, no one had ordered that one. They had ordered like our like third or alternate jerseys, because they were really cool. They were like blue and just designed really well. So I have that jersey, so not really like my game worn jersey, but I still consider it my jersey. It's got my name and number on it. The Danbury one, I do not have. That is one I really, really want. And their equipment manager also told me that after the game that I played, he was so confident that they were going to keep me that he went and he ordered all of my jerseys. Like, he ordered my name and my number, all of their jerseys that I would have worn that season. He ordered them. And he now is with a different team. So he said he was going to send them to me, didn't send them to me. I guess, got caught up in some stuff. But yeah, I have my Distillers jerseys though, and most of my college ones I don't have because they use the same ones. I have my Millersville college ones, but yeah, juniors, college, most of those, they just reuse them and they put a new nameplate on the next year. So I unfortunately did not get to keep those unless I stole it. So I don't have many of my jerseys, unfortunately, other than like from my youth.
She officially
Dang.
doesn't have any of her jerseys.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, hey, if you want us to track down this equipment manager and get your Get your jerseys. I'm sure we can get somebody to find some info and
We'll
contact
tag-
info.
We'll tag some Danbury folks on this, and
Yeah.
I mean, we've got connections into the
We do.
the minor
We'll get a
hockey
petition
space.
going.
Yeah.
Get Taylor or Danbury jerseys.
But I didn't think you were gonna say Danbury there, but
Well, you don't have to bleep that out. This podcast almost went off the rails.
Shoot. But so Taylor, what one of my favorite goalies of all time was known to be a prankster. Have you or have any of your teammates gone to the flurry route in being huge pranksters?
Not in my experience, at least not in like the pro or semi-pro setting or even college. Like I don't really remember anybody pulling pranks. There was more of like, I wouldn't call it hazing, but maybe a little bit of hazing where we'd put like clear tape on the bottom of someone's blades and they'd walk out on the ice in practice and they just fall and eat it. Like nothing like actually super creative that people don't already know or that are
Yeah.
a little more lighthearted. It was more of like, yeah, like we're hazing you type of stuff, unfortunately. But I've pulled pranks before. Like I pulled one at work that was really legendary, my old job, but that was pretty much it.
You wanna tell the story?
Oh yeah, so not hockey related, but I was working full time before I moved out here for the summer and everything to train. And it was my last day on the job. There was this guy that had been there since the beginning, kind of with me. And he was someone that I always messed with a few of my other coworkers, just in good fun though. Like he was a friend of ours. And my idea was I need to pull one last good prank on him before I leave because everyone knows I'm leaving, that I'm, in hockey full time and everything. And there was a lot going on. So he had walked out for lunch and I had coordinated with a few of my other coworkers, like, okay, when's he leaving? When's he coming back? So on and so forth. So I found a cardboard box and I took all of his stuff off his desk, put it in the box, and I hid it somewhere in the office. And then I also printed out clues and sent them to other people's desks on like a scavenger hunt. So you had to figure out like where the next clue would be, like whose desk did you have to go to for the next clue. And it's a really big floor. Like think corporate America cubicles, like that's exactly what it was. So I sent him on like a wild goose chase when he came back from lunch to find all his things.
That's
That's
awesome.
fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah, when Dylan and I used to work together, that would be frowned upon at that. But we used to have at a place I worked at, we used to have, mice at the computer, and one guy was a little bit older, didn't know what was going on, so Buddy took tape and stuck it underneath that. He called IT and it's like, my mouse isn't working. My mouse isn't working. And then IT would come down, and by that point, they had taken the tape off and put the mouse back, so it was working. And this happened 4 or 5 times.
You guys are awful, Kevin.
I didn't do it. I just witnessed it. Oh, but yeah.
I've always wanted to get a universal remote and drive around town and just turn off people's TVs just randomly. I think that would always be a good prank.
We
You
used
just
to
go cut
have
their power.
So that too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's illegal.
Yeah.
Only if they don't find out.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, no. We used to discover that the Apple remotes would work for every Apple computer. So in college, my professor discovered that I was messing with one of my classmates because she was playing Farmville in the middle of Music Tech 101. So I would sit there and just pull up the media menu on there, and finally he's like, here, give me the remote. And he started doing it with her. Every time she'd pull up Farmville, her computer would start playing music, and he'd look and yell at her. That was fun time.
How is she supposed to grow her farm?
Well, off, not during class. She needs to be
as a teacher, I can tell you there's plenty of time in class that is not 100% productive.
There wasn't that class. That was chock full when you're trying to learn what every plugin does in a studio format. So, but all right, Taylor. Well, who has been your biggest inspiration in your journey? Who's been like your favorite goalie? Who's inspired you the most?
So I don't know if you guys, I mean, you've probably heard of him. Not sure how you feel about him, but Jeff Lurg. Do you guys know who he is?
Yep.
Played for
Toledo
Toledo.
goalie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
awfully ironic that
Yep.
that would have influenced me in any way, but he's short guy, small guy for the levels he's played at. I think he's like 5'5" or 5'6". Made it, I think, all the way up to the AHL. So super undersized guy, and um I actually ended up on a Zoom call with him and a few other people during COVID. So I actually got to talk to him for the first time and pick his brain a bit, and just seeing how he never let his size or anything get in the way, because I'm 5 feet tall. Um, and
Same.
people always tend to look over people tend to look over shorter goalies because, we're short. But um, jokes aside, people want a bigger goalie. And I always kind of thought my size was going to hold me back, especially when I was younger, because I was already getting some pushback on from teams because I was so small. And then when I saw him, it gave me so much hope that I can go as far as I can and that I can't let my size define me. So he's definitely been a huge inspiration. He's a great goaltender, since retired, but super great guy, extremely talented, extremely fast goaltender, like just very impressive in what he can do, very athletic. So I've always tried to not necessarily model my game around him, but take some things from him, see what things work for me, and just like I said, not let anything hold me back, because if he could do it, then I could do it too.
Cool. Very cool. Now, what would you say has been the hardest part of your journey?
The hardest part, I think that would be definitely overcoming, like the size stigma, where everybody wants a real tall goalie. It makes sense because you want somebody with a bigger body to cover more net. Generally, science, bigger mass covers a larger area. So it makes sense. I get it. But people will tend to write me off pretty quickly once they see how big I am, or um, E even sometimes because I'm a woman. So, I wouldn't say that that's fully it, though. I feel like it's more my size has always been the issue anywhere than me being a woman. So, that has been probably the biggest challenge I've had to overcome and learn how to compensate for my lack of, and, making sure that, I'm like super quick and on my angles, and just tracking and reading plays very well, just being very smart with the game too, because I don't have that size to be able to just stand there and compensate for that. Like I have to be much more well-rounded than like somebody that's like 6'4", 6'5", even like 6'1". So that has probably been the biggest challenge to overcome, is to get people to see beyond that and say, "Okay, let's give her a chance and just see exactly what she can do." G in their defense too, though, on the other side of the coin, no one's ever really seen that. No one's even seen a man at that size trying to compete at, like, the levels that, like, I've been at or gone to, so I can see why it would be weird for some people. But just always growing up, I was always the smallest kid, always kind of written off or looked at a little lesser because I was the small goalie. I wasn't like the average or like the larger goalie. So that's probably been my biggest challenge, I'd say, is getting people to look beyond that.
Cool. Do you have custom goalie gear?
I do not. So I'm still in like intermediate sizes.
Hey,
And
Cheaper,
I
I
have
intermediate
assume.
skates. Got them.
junior skates. I actually wear a size 2 skate.
Oh,
So I buy kids skates.
That's
they're
But
a lot
crazy.
I
cheaper.
don't oh, yeah, a lot cheaper. And I did have one custom set, and it's actually funny that you bring that up, because my first college that I went to, they got me a custom set, and right before I could actually get it, it arrived, like, I think a day before I gave in my transfer paperwork.
So you
Nice.
got the custom stuff, and then did you
And then
get
I
to
did.
keep it?
No,
Okay.
but somebody who was a staff member of the team at the time had actually the following season had sent me a picture of them and were like, "Look what's still here, like waiting for you when you come back." And I'm like, "Oh, don't do that to me." They were so nice. The team colors were purple, white, and black. So I got them like all purple with just
I
white
think you should
accents.
be like, hey, I kind of need those this season. I think you need to get those back.
That's actually so weird that you bring that up because I was just talking about that earlier. That's so weird to me. What are you,
Yeah, who
psychic?
else is gonna wear size 2 skates?
They have my name on them too. My name's embroidered into the pad, so I'm like, nobody wants these, right? They're really nice, but you don't want these.
What brand were they?
They're CCM.
Nice.
I think they were like a
Nice.
29 plus 2, which is tiny for those who don't know goalie pad sizes.
Well, one thing's for sure, your Distillers jerseys certainly were not sized to you at all.
Oh, oh my gosh, yeah, they're very big, but I'm just used to that.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you actually look at them down the back, the bottom of them goes down to the back of my knee. Even with all my gear on, I'm pretty sure it goes down to the back of my knee.
Wow.
That's crazy. So, have you ever scored a goalie goal?
I have not. That's definitely on the bucket list. I've gotten assists, but I'd love to score a goalie goal. And I somehow know a kid that is in college right now and he's scored 2. I'm like, this is a little unfair. I've been waiting a lot longer and you have too,
Yeah.
but it's still super cool. And I would hope that one day I'd get one. That'd be really cool.
Well, I mean, not everybody can be the Komets goalie that had a goalie goal and then a goalie fight, like what, within a week?
Yeah, in the same week.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Oh,
been
yeah.
in a fight?
No. And because nobody will hit me back. So it's
So
not
you'll
really much
win.
of a fair
So
fight.
you're pretty much
That's not even a fair fight at that point. If no one hits you back, then that's kind of lame.
But you can hit them, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Especially if it
It
gets
works.
chippy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In our exhibition game last weekend, there was some kid who he put his stick basically under my neck. It kind of came up under here. And I got pretty peeved about it. So I went up to him and I'm like, "You want to do it again? You want to do it again?" And the film's not there because the away or the home team's camera died like
Of
right before
course.
that happened. Because I tried to go back on the film and look at it, and it was literally right before that happened. So you would have seen me like kind of like circling up to this kid and
Dang.
my teammates getting in the way, and everyone was laughing too. So I'm probably the least threatening person, so they're not going to hit me back. And I wasn't going for a punch, but I was a little heated in the moment. If the opportunity ever presented itself for a fair fight, I think I'd do it.
Yeah. Could have poke checked him. Could have poke checked the skates and had him fall. That would have been hilarious.
It
Yeah.
was after a stoppage of play.
Oh,
One of my
even
teammates
better.
had come up to me, asked, "What happened back there? Like, why were you yelling at him?" I told him what happened. On the next face off, he just goes right up to this kid and just absolutely kills him, like right into the boards. And this guy's big kid too. He's probably like not like wide, but he's very, very tall, probably like 6'4". So big dude against a much smaller guy. And I was like, all right, that'll do.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Nice. That reminds me of like one of the Komets playoff games when they won the cup. This one small guy from Carolina comes skating up to who was the tall defenseman that we had during that run? I cannot remember his name. Anyways, guy was like 6'7" on skates, and this guy was maybe like maybe 6 foot on skates, so significantly smaller, and goes up to check him, and I saw him turn, see it, smirk, and then just lay the reverse check and knock the guy like 3 feet in the other direction, and his helmet went around the boards, and then he hit the helmet and scooped it back up and threw it down the ice. I
'Cause
love
that's a
hockey.
penalty if you don't throw your helmet back on.
Well, yeah, you have to get off the ice. Have you ever had a piece of equipment break in a game?
Lots. Definitely helmets. I've had cages like start dangling off, get hit in the face, and the cage just couple screws come out, cage is just dangling. Like, okay. I used to wear plastic neck guards, like those danglers that hang off of your helmet. I had a couple of those snap, and by my junior year of high school, I was like, I'm so over this. I'm not playing with one again. Stop playing with those. Um, Definitely, like, just random, like, straps and stuff on pads. There's so much that's just randomly broken off that I probably couldn't even tell you every single little thing.
Yeah, Parker was telling us about the time
Kevin,
his
I think
helmet
you're talking
shattered.
about Matthew Brodeur.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was talking about. So you said your helmet has lost pieces. So you haven't had anything like what Parker had, where it's shattered or anything like that.
No, not shattering, thankfully. There's definitely been, like, cracks and stuff, but not, like, a full-on shatter.
That's good. That's good. I was awfully surprised when Parker brought that story up.
Yeah.
Um, so
I heard about that story too,
yeah,
so I was like, "Geez, whoever shot that, I don't wanna stand in front of them," but kidding,
yeah.
but
uh, so when you first got to the Fed, and we all know that slap shots are inevitable in pro hockey. Like, what do you? I know some goalies love to get hit by slap shots, and some goalies hate it. Are you on that side that likes it, or are you on the side that hates it?
as long as it doesn't go in the back of the net after it hits me, love it. Sure, why not? Like,
That's the
or it doesn't
attitude.
hit or it doesn't hit somewhere with no padding. Because when I left Danbury, like, I had bruises all kind of up in my arms, like, right on here. There are bruises everywhere. Currently have a big, massive bruise on my leg from Saturday's game. So, they happen, but once the adrenaline's going, it's so quick, you don't even notice half the time until you just see a big bruise out of nowhere the next day.
I've had that, and I'm not even a goalie. I'm just a skater. I've had random bruises. I'll be like, oh, huh, don't know where that came from, but yeah,
Exactly.
yep, no. So, what would you say is the greatest or your favorite piece of gear that you've used?
That is a very good question. I was not ready for that. My favorite piece of gear that I've ever used. Um, so one piece of gear that is my favorite, there is this chest protector. It was a Warrior chest protector. I got it, or my dad got it for me like my freshman year of high school or something. And I used that thing until I absolutely couldn't use it anymore because one thing about me is I hate breaking in chest protectors. Most of the ones I've ever worn, I just hate. Like, they just feel very uncomfortable, like, not like they don't belong on my body. So this one particular chest protector just completely stood out to me, and to this day, it still stands out because what is it, like, close to 15 years later, and I've still never found anything like it. I've never found anything comparable. Like, the one I wear now, I'm not a huge fan of because it's very big, but my parents said, "We're getting you this one because if you're gonna go back to playing men's hockey, you're gonna be like, we need you in something bulletproof." So, they paid for it, it was their wishes, I went with it, and now I'm like, "Ugh, I miss that thing so much," my old one.
Yeah. No. So is there anything that you do outside of just normal hockey training that you do to get yourself ready for the season?
Oh, yeah, like, just like almost any other pro athlete, like, I'm in the gym, a couple times a week doing strength training, conditioning, so to supplement any on-ice training that I do. I also like to work on, like, hand-eye stuff a little bit, like, at home or at the gym, wherever I can really manage to do it, and I think a big, like, part of the off-season training is also just taking the time to relax and not think too much about hockey. So I like to do a lot of, like, not hockey stuff too, like just hanging out with friends and family, going to the beach, reading a book, like anything to kinda get my mind off of hockey because I think it's good for, like, the mental rest and the mental reset and training and all that too. Um, So nothing out of the ordinary in comparison to anybody else, but, um, I do like getting involved in other sports if I can too. I don't play a lot of other sports, at least not that I've been able to play out here, but even just, like, going in the backyard and having a catch with somebody, like, I like to do that, just random little things to keep my body moving and just do stuff outside of hockey too.
What other sports are you into?
Well, I love football. Never played football. Probably a good thing, but I love football. I love baseball. Obviously, hockey is number one. Fun fact, I played field hockey for a year in high school and 2 years in college, and I played tennis for like a semester in college. So I got into some other sports while I was in school, which was fun too, but just generally like any sport, I just like being active and also just trying new stuff too.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, this question is for Ryan because Ryan has a
That's me.
segment called Ryan's Best Eats. So
Yes.
it started at the Ice House.
Yeah, did
If
you
you
ever have the pizza at the Ice House?
Of course.
I did have the pizza at the Ice House.
Is it not fantastic? I mean, I feel like it was fantastic pizza.
I like how cheesy the Ice House
Yeah!
pizza is, but here's the thing. So I've only been like familiar with Fort Wayne for like a year now, and I heard that the Ice House pizza used to be better.
That's what
I
I've
don't
been
see
told
how that's
too.
possible, but I mean, maybe
I
it
heard that
was.
it used to be better. So I don't know this whatever era before that I came here, if it was truly better or if someone's just messing with me. I don't know, but I don't mind it. I think it's pretty solid.
so in light of that segment, what is the best stadium food you've ever had?
Stadium food. I'm gonna have to be biased and um when they rename it. So where the Flyers play in Philadelphia, it was the Wells Fargo Center, and now I think it's like Xfinity Mobile Arena. They just changed the name so at some point this summer, I think. But the best stadium food that I've ever had, just anything in there almost. Like you can get a really good cheesesteak, you can get what we call crab fries, which are just crinkle cut fries with Old Bay seasoning on them. So they're not like anything too crazy, but this one place, Chickies and Pete's, they're the ones that coined up crab fries and they're known for them. So those are really good. There's this place called Lorenzo and Sons Pizza that has slices that are probably like this big. Pizza slices, really good. Almost anything you can get. I'm just obviously partial to Philly because that's my home, that's where I'm from, but every, like, food that I've had in the stadiums there, whether that's Citizens Bank Park, Xfinity Mobile Arena, the Link, even though it's been a long time since I've been there, just really good all-around food, like, just some of the best.
So Taylor, what is the highest honor that you've achieved in your hockey career?
Um, that's a really great question. I'd say probably the highest honor is even just I'm stuck. It's between signing, like, my first pro contract because that is, like, you know, very humbling and just like, "Wow, like, you guys believe in me, like, you wanna see me out here, like, this is awesome." And also just, like, honestly, yeah, that's probably the highest honor that I've, like, had, like, um, probably the most. Yeah, for sure. I'm losing my
You're
words on
good.
this one,
You're
but because
good.
'cause I'm trying to think, but yeah, I haven't won, like, a championship or anything in a while or anything, like, in particular, but just, like I said earlier, what that, getting to sign a pro contract and even getting to be, like, in that environment and at least try is a huge honor. Even if you don't make it as far as, like, the NHL, it's still a big honor, and I'm just really blessed that I've gotten to do what I've been able to do so far.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So what do you
we
think realistically your goal, like, do you think ECHL is obtained? Like, do you think that is something that you would want to push for to make it to that level?
Well, after training with the Komets guys, which let's be honest, they're unreal. Like it took a while to get used to the speed and the shots and just the game is just so much faster and so much smarter. Like you got to be at a certain level for a long time to do that. Like I can hold my own, but um I just really want to go as far as I can, whether I could even get an opportunity to go out to a training camp in the ECHL or even if I don't make it any further than the Fed, like whatever it might be. But I think like the Fed or the SPHL would probably realistically be where I would land and maybe play a little longer term there. The ECHL, though, like I don't want to write it off. They're just, a lot of them were NHL draft picks at one point. A lot of them
Mhm.
have so much more experience at so much higher levels than I do. So I'm confident in my own abilities, but it's also just that much harder once you get to that level because the NHL controls part of you too. So it would be an honor and it would be super unreal to even just go to a camp. But whether or not that's something that I would imagine setting my sights on, not entirely, because I try not to look too far ahead at this point. I just want to make that first step first, like that, step up to the first level, you know, the lowest level, stay there for a while, and then if I can, keep moving up.
So, what have you ever thought about maybe coaching after you're done playing?
Yeah, so I coach goalies now too down at the ice house. I was coaching goalies back in my area too, like a lot of youth goalies with my goalie coach. And I've gotten the opportunity to run goalie clinics and goalie camps throughout the summer here. And I love being able to do that. I don't know if I would ever coach a team because I don't think I want all of that responsibility or have it consume so much of my time, but I love coaching goalies because that's my position. Like that's something I'm really passionate about and developing goaltenders in particular, and just that side of the game. So I would definitely love to, after I'm done playing, get more serious about goalie coaching. Just probably not team coaching because it's just never interested me, but who knows? That could obviously change once that time comes too.
So, would you consider being a goalie coach for a team?
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Like a goalie coach for a team, that would be pretty cool too. Like, especially like a pro team or something, that would be unreal. I think that would be a really cool opportunity. But even if it's just coaching, kids, because at that point in their lives, that development and having that, good influence there and somebody to motivate and encourage them, maybe when some of them don't get that at home. So I think that's super important to developing future adults. And I would like to kind of be on the front lines of that, but say an opportunity came where like an ECHL team or something wanted a goalie coach and they offered it to me, I'd be like, heck yeah, that's cool. I can do that.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
Yeah,
super cool.
absolutely.
Well, when something like that happens, remember us here at
Yeah,
Minorly
yeah,
Important. So, but we started asking this of our guests, and we asked this of ourselves in our first episode, but kind of stopped. And one thing that I would like to get back to is, what does minor league sports mean to you?
Minor league sports, what it means to me is it's an opportunity. Like for a lot of people who may have been overlooked, or a lot of people that went under the radar or unseen, to get their names out there and to develop and give them a platform, like possibly an opportunity to show what they can do to get up to the majors or just still continue doing what they love and being able to do it professionally, get paid for it, make it their lifestyle. So I think it's what I'm in and I love it. Like it allows me to do what I do right now because what if we didn't have minor league sports? Then how many people would actually have ever played a professional sport? How many people do you think there would be that never got a chance to showcase their talent and abilities? So it means a lot to me personally.
Awesome. I mean, yeah. Without minor league sports, this podcast wouldn't be here. Dylan, you and I wouldn't have met because we met. I don't know, Taylor, if you probably have heard us talk about it, but the Mad Ant Drummers, the G League basketball team that was here in Fort Wayne, Ryan didn't, but we did the drum line for that. So Colin and Dylan and I, and then Ryan's doing Fort Wayne FC drummers with us now. So
Yeah, I'm on the better
Yeah.
drum line.
yeah,
I don't know
What?
about that.
What? Who said? Dylan again, starting to stir stuff up.
but yeah, so but yeah, I mean, we agree. minor league sports is a opportunity to prove yourself, and we're excited to see where it's leading you to, and we are very much behind you. We do always close. We are getting here to the end, so we do always close with a closing question. And Taylor, you are included in this tonight. So, what is your favorite childhood sports memory of you playing when you were a kid? And Colin, we will go with you first.
Uh, playing
Repeat the
football,
question.
I guess.
Playing football?
Kevin, yeah, I mean, I guess so. We all know I was a band kid, so I mean, I
Right.
only played a little
Oh,
bit of
no, you
football.
were not. You played sports all the way up through high school, Shaolin.
Let's see here. Little League Baseball, we were playing against Moose. I hit a ground rule double to tie the game. And when we were starting at the bottom of the ninth, it was like 3-9. That was a really good feeling.
Nice.
Yeah. Ryan?
What was the question? Can you repeat the question?
What?
Was it what was our favorite sports memory as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
shoot.
you heard
Let
it.
me, well, I was looking at some sports card stuff while Colin was talking.
Of course you were.
Pay attention.
I know. Hey, you know what? It's late. I told you. I mean, you're normally in bed by now. Shoo. Probably his favorite sports memory. Probably hitting a home run in Little League Baseball. That was really fun.
Cool. Dylan?
I've played drums since I was 8. I didn't really do the sports very well. I did Wildcat baseball when I was real young.
Wildcat? High
Yeah,
School
man.
Musical?
Yeah, exactly.
We're
No,
all in this
it
together.
wasn't quite Little League.
Hey,
you know
I
what
don't
I
want to
mean?
get
But
copyright straight.
right.
Sorry.
Make that
That's,
legal.
that's not a
legal.
company we're gonna mess with there.
Gotta leave
Yeah.
Disney alone.
They don't care about us anyway. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I didn't do sports, Kevin. I'm sorry.
That's fine. So
Not even like soccer as a little child.
what about playing what about coaching your two boys?
Technically, was like a standing coach for one game, so it wasn't
So?
really all that cool. But
So?
yeah, okay.
I'm giving you something.
Yeah, so Little League baseball for my twin boys. I have twins, by the way. Cool connection there. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, it was cool getting to throw the ball around and see him hit it off the tee and whatnot. Say, hey, run this way, not to third. Go to
The
first.
opposite way?
Yeah.
You gotta go to
basically
first,
the-
not second.
No,
Yeah.
don't run towards the pitcher's mouth.
exactly.
Yep. Cool. Well, I would have to say one of my favorite moments was in Little League as well. I was incredibly small, and then I was also kind of a jerk where I would crowd the plate and crouch. So I took my already non-existent strike zone and made it even smaller. Needless to say, I was hit a lot. Which is why blocking shots in hockey now just doesn't bother me because of that. But I'm a type 1 diabetic, so my insulin pump was sitting on one side, and the back side of where I was batting because I bat right-handed. And I remember the umpire telling me to take my pager off. And I'm like, I can't. It's not a pager. I'm kind of attached to it. And he's
Kinda
like,
connected.
no. And he goes, I don't care how important you think you are. Take your page. And this goes back and forth. And finally, keeping my mom and dad are sitting behind me, watching this whole thing happen. And I finally pulled down because it was stuck into my hip. And I pulled my pants down and basically mooned the entire crowd and go, no, it's attached. I can't. And the ump going, oh, play ball.
You should be like, I'll take first base now.
I
And-
did get hit. I did get
Yeah.
hit. So
And to think he thought it was a pager. What kid has a
Right.
pager?
Yeah, like I'm not a 4-year-old
yeah.
man.
I was in 5th grade. It was just like, I don't care how important you think you are. Take it off. And I'm
Hold
like,
on, my pager's going off. Yeah, I got to go catch this house fire. I'll be right back. God.
so all right.
Oh man. All right.
So Taylor, how about you?
Probably my favorite memory would be the first ever championship I won. So I was a freshman in high school. So a few years after I actually started playing hockey, never won a championship before. And we were playing at a tournament in Rochester, New York. And not that we weren't doing well that year, but we were very like middle of the pack. We weren't expecting to go win any championships. So we get into the championship game and we're playing against a Canadian team. And we're all so excited. We're like comparing it to the Miracle on Ice, even though it was far from it.
Nice.
In Miracle, they also weren't Canadian, they were Russian. So we were a little off base there. But that game went into like triple overtime and a bunch of rounds of a shootout. And we won. And it was like very low score, too. It was like 1-1 tie going into the overtime and the shootouts. I gotta hand it to the other girl, wherever she is now, like, kudos to you too, but that was my moment. So thanks for thanks for letting in, like, that one goal in the shootout that
Thanks for
gave me the
messing up.
win.
Very
Yeah.
cool. That's
Hopefully she
awesome.
never sees this.
Oh, yeah. So, that's awesome. No, I unfortunately have never won a championship in my career. Unfortunately, my beer league hockey team has made it to championship 2 years in a row and then lost in the final.
Oh,
Yep.
no. That sucks.
Actually, 3 seasons in a row. Yeah. So, true my team's fashion, all tournaments we make it to the finals and lose. So,
Yeah, sounds like
Yeah.
Toledo.
hey,
Hey, we have to be nice now.
hey.
Had to get one dig in, just one.
Yep, had to.
No
Just
more.
one.
We are now pro Toledo.
Yeah, we'll change
Hey,
our.
it's not Toledo, it's Taylor Lido.
Yeah, Taylor Lido.
So, all right, Taylor, before we sign off, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anything like that?
Just shout out to my family. Thanks for dealing with the chaos. Thank you to what I call my Fort Wayne family. You guys have been amazing. And just anybody there that's out there that may come across this and maybe they're struggling in their pursuits right now, or maybe having some self-doubt or not believing in themselves, like shout out to you because it's a struggle and I know you got this. So that's all I can say.
Thank you so much again for coming on, and to you the best of luck this season. Want to wish the mobsters luck as well. As weird as that is to say, but no, nothing but love to the city of Toledo. We like to give everybody a hard time up there, just because of the Toledo-Fort Wayne rivalry. But at the end of the day, it's all fun. It's just fun and games, and we love you, Toledo. Like I said the last time we had to apologize.
Like the stepchild.
So, all right. Well, guys, thank you so much. If you've got a question for Taylor, drop it down below, and we will try to get it to her, and we'll see if we can get it answered for you. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and Colin, what do we say?
Cue the music.
All right, see you guys. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.